My first big project that I was able to charge more than $100,000 was for a big enterprise. And after charging that amount of money, I think I was 17 years old or something like that. I moved out of my parents' house, bought an apartment, and started traveling all over the world. But that's just a big lie. There are many different gurus and like online kind of courses and whatever that are gonna tell you that all of that is possible, that by just leveraging their course in just a few weeks you're gonna learn pricing, you're gonna learn pricing strategies, you're gonna grow your agency, you're gonna grow your business or like your freelancing career or anything on that matter online. But that's just not the case. My first project was for $100, so that's $100 where I was working for, I think it was 160 hours, like one whole full month, and I ended up making less than $1. Like my hourly rate was 60 cents. And that's why I wanted to go ahead and record this video to showcase you my thought process when creating the pricing strategy for our agency Flow Ninja, for our studio currently now, so that you can hopefully make less mistakes and work and have an hourly rate that is a little bit more than what your parents are giving you when you were a kid for ice cream or anything similar, I guess. Hi everyone, my name is Urosh and I'm the founder and CEO of Flow Ninja. Basically, at our agency and like at our studio, I like to call it more, we're helping enterprises, startups, and many other businesses realize ideas faster. And currently, we are running a 7-figure agency which has like almost 40 people. But that doesn't mean that we're making crazy profits, that I'm going ahead of driving a Lambo, I'm just driving a normal car like everybody else. And like that's just not the whole point. My whole point is running this game and being in this business game for the long run and making sure that in the long run we can make a lot of impact, we can learn, and we can grow the business. So that's why I'm usually recording these videos with a different perspective, not with a perspective that everything is gonna be easy to be done in the next 3 months, that you're gonna just learn everything in just few easy steps. So the first step ever is actually understanding your value when you're pricing or when you're looking for freelance agency, or like when you're positioning your service, maybe even if you're running a car wash or anything like that. Is understanding your value, what are you bringing to the table, and like what are all the other people bringing to the table. And that was one of the biggest mistakes I've made, actually, because at that time I didn't have crazy experience. I would be able to charge for that project like $1,000, like, which probably would be like a lot better than like those $100 that I was working for. So that's where I made a mistake, and I didn't actually understand, okay, I had an Instagram account, and for that Instagram account I was creating a website, and then I went really deep into everything that I need to do in order to create a good website. So like I was okay, I wasn't great, I could charge a lot more, but I didn't understand the value. I had some sort of an imposter syndrome internally in me, so I just wanted that validation. Okay, is somebody actually gonna pay me online to do something? And like that's just gonna be it. But that might be the case for you. Like I've seen many different friends actually getting those first few jobs which are really badly paid, just to understand somebody's giving me money, I get money back, and like that's just a great feeling to have in general, so that you can test that out. But on the other side, the first thing you need to see is okay, maybe I'm having a full-time job and I want to go ahead and get to the freelancing side, or I want to open a business or something similar. I have a lot more value to provide, so I need to understand like what is the value I'm providing and how I'm gonna positioning myself, versus if I'm just getting started. And personally, like if you're just getting started, I think the best possible way for you to get a good return on investment on your time is to get a full-time job. Again, like looking online, everybody's gonna tell you you need to grind, you need to work and whatever. But actually, I had that first job that I've done for $100. Many others, like there were 50, 100, 500, and whatever. But there came a point that I realized, okay, I need to see how an actual business does it, like how much they're paying me and whatever. And only after getting a full-time job for 2 years and another full-time job for 6 months, I was able to actually understand my actual value of actually delivering the service to the business, delivering service to like other businesses and whatever. And only after understanding that value, I was able to feel confident in what I'm providing and to start feeling a lot more confident in what I'm going to be charging. So that's why it's important. Are you positioning your pricing long term because you're an expert or whatever? Which, like, if you are, like, you can continue watching the video. But if you're just getting started, like, you're probably not gonna get it right. You can go into calculations, but you're gonna make mistakes, and you're here just to learn. So you shouldn't bother, I think, in my opinion, like a lot about pricing if you're just getting started, and just figure out how can I get my first job, how can I start getting experience and start being a lot more confident in kind of the value I'm providing. The next thing is gonna be like, if you're on the left, like where you have like some experience, you're like considering to do this kind of full time, and like you want to earn money from this. The first thing is gonna be research your market. Even though we live in a global world, like from my experience, as we're from Serbia, there are going to be different prices that agencies charge from US versus agencies from Europe versus agency from Emirates or whatever. And like, I'm not telling you that you need to be cheap, and like, we're on a higher end. Like, I'm always pushing for, okay, don't be cheap, go and kind of chase those high ticket clients. But based on the location, like, everybody's gonna know that your living costs are lower, that your team expenses are lower, that there are many different things. So they're just gonna expect that you're like a little bit more, I say, less expensive, not cheaper, but less expensive than the agencies from those areas. So just understand, okay, the agencies from here charge that much, they charge this much, and like, see how you compare on those pay grades. And then like, you can go on websites like upwork.com, you can go see how much our salary is getting paid. So you figure out, okay, my salary was actually pretty high. So like, if you have 50K salary per year, you can see how much was your hourly rate per month. And like, you can figure out, okay, if I actually quit my job to do a freelancing career, I need to make more, and like, I need to have some money on the side and gonna start earning more on that front. But yeah, that aside, like, you can research that. You can also go ahead and research other agencies' websites. Usually they have pricings. That was what I was doing. Other freelancers' websites, they have pricings. Or go on like maybe top tier marketplaces like A-Team or TopTal, where you can see which are the top performers earning, and that you can kind of start going towards that and seeing how I can provide that amount of value to the business so that they can pay me that kind of hourly rate in the end. Then the next thing is calculating your costs. And this was a huge mistake for me, because you can like run a 7-figure agency. Like, even like when you see online, there can be a person who's kind of having multiple 7 figures coming into their account by the end of the month, or like on the year, like if like that's on a yearly scale, and like all the month, like the next, like he's just gonna come out and like they're gonna have zero profit. So you need to figure out, okay, every single business is gonna scale. Even though I have, maybe me and my friend are starting something at the moment, there's gonna be a time in 2 years where we're gonna need to have sales, we're gonna need to have marketing, we're gonna need to have finance, and then we're just gonna need to have operations. So like, again, from my personal story, like, one of my friends was calculating his price, and he said, I can have my hourly rate to be $40 per hour because I'm paying my team $30, and that leaves me with $10 profit. But you're not looking at, okay, I need to basically promote that person in 3 months. They're gonna have a higher salary, profit is gonna get lower. Then in 3 months, I might need to kind of promote them again, my profit is gonna get lower. I might need to give them bonuses, my profit is gonna get lower. And then like, he's gonna end up having $2 to pay taxes, to pay those promotions and whatever, and also to pay all the other team members like sales, finance, and marketing. And like, with that budget, like, it's just not gonna do it. Just start thinking long term of kind of where you see business maybe in the next year. Maybe you're gonna be scaling your pricing slowly, but just try to not undercut you like a lot, because if you get a client for $30 an hour, it's gonna be almost impossible to upsell them like in 2 years to pay you $100 per hour, even though you deliver 10x better service. Like, it's just not gonna do it. You can scale maybe from 60 to 100 like with time or with years, but like, if you undercut yourself in the beginning, it's gonna be impossible for you to continue. You're gonna be excited, you don't want to ditch the client, and it's just not gonna be the best process ever. And then another thing is, if you're running a business, you need payroll. If your payroll is 60K per month, like if you have a big business, or like even 2K per month, you're going to have 6, 10 months, 12 months in front of you to be secure and to be sure that, okay, I can be a little bit more risky. I can decline this client because a different one is going to come like that's bigger, that's going to be paying me more. So also with the profit, like if you're paying your team 30, you might need to charge $90 per hour, and that's all going to come to your like to your costs and to how much profit you want to actually generate. You can go ahead and like kind of read maybe Profit First to understand what is your actually hourly rate kind of for the business, so that you can actually grow it and that you can know how much profit you're actually making. Because I'm always for profit, and I'm always building businesses for profit and not for those evaluations or like whatever that you can see today on the stock market. I'm always, the business needs to make money from the day one. If it's a good business, it's going to make money from day one. It's going to generate revenue, it's going to generate profit, and from that profit is going to generate enough for me and also for the business to go ahead and reinvest back into it. Then after that, you're going to be adjusting your pricing strategy. I know for our agency, it's kind of all hands on deck because we have 6 people working on every single project at least. So that's no other business kind of that I was comparing our team to doesn't have 6 full-time in-house people who are trained, who are constantly educating, who are motivated and whatever, and committed to that business of working on a client's project. So that kind of reduces the percentages of kind of bad projects in the end. So like the project must be a success, 6-star experience. I really love nice hotels. So my idea is like, okay, if I'm building a business, I need to actually build it like it's a 6-star hotel, and like that I could go ahead and give some little tweaks here and there that are going to make our clients happier. And then like the final part is that we're just going to be transparent. Like there are many other people that are over promising. Sometimes we lose a client, but they come back to us like in 3 months when something doesn't realize with the other vendor, because we said, okay, that needs to be a 6-month project, not a 3-month project. And we're just going to be transparent with you. So just open up your document, add values, add values of the other businesses you were comparing pricings to, or kind of in general kind of people who you were comparing your hourly rate with their hourly rate, just figuring out where you can rank up and kind of what are people going to get with you. Maybe you're going to get this and this, and you want to be a little bit more competitive with pricing because you can afford to do so like long term. You might be lowering pricings or like kind of gathering pricings more up or whatever. And based off of that, you can afterwards decide what kind of pricing model you want to have. So you can have a per hour, you can have per day, you can have per week, per month, you can have per project, per feature, or you can do value-based pricing. And I mean, getting into details, I really feel that there is not going to be a video which is going to tell you do this pricing, because you're going to need to probably go from the ladder, kind of from the bottom to the top, because you're going to need to first start on an hourly rate, start realizing things, then move to a day rate, then move to a weekly rate, then probably move to a monthly rate with a client. And then kind of with time, like you can create a system, which I'm always proposing to everybody, to create a system that you can create a pricing systematically. We actually have an in-house calculator that, because I guess in our case, we're building websites and platforms, that with every single kind of website we're building, we have levels. Every single page can be from level 1 to level 4. And then easily we can make the calculation for the full website for design and development in less than an hour, instead of wasting a lot more time. And then additionally, like if we're building a platform, we can rank all of the features that the platform needs to have and create a pricing really, really quickly, and like remove the hassle and like the anxiety from us of actually, did I make the estimate right or not? Because even with those levels, one level it might be a little bit higher, but one might be a little bit lower. And with that, we can create a systematic way to make sure that the projects are profitable for us and that they're doing us good in the long run. Additionally, like another big mistake that I've made is like giving like a lot of discounts. It's really hard to upsell a person who you give a discount to. So just try giving bonuses. So like maybe there is a big project and like the scope is do 10 features, and like they have a budget of 10K, like you can maybe remove some of the features in the pricing strategy to meet the budget. Or like if you really want to win them, you don't want to reduce your overall kind of value, but you can say, okay, for 10K we're doing these 5 features, but these additional 2 we're gonna do for free, and like the additional 3 we're just gonna have to leave out and pay for them later. That way clients feel that they're getting something, like that they're getting something for free, but they're still valuing your hourly rate and kind of your overall process to the potential, because they're getting something more. Because if you give discounts in the beginning a lot, you're never going to be able to come to the pricing you want to, and it's just going to be like a bad look for a business. Because my biggest suggestion is try being the premium product, never be the cheapest product, because there's always going to be somebody that's going to be cheaper than you in the end. And then the final thing is kind of creating your offer. If you're starting out, maybe you're not going to be creating a fancy presentation like we're creating at the moment, but just try to communicate your offer in the best way possible. Create a document, create like your mission, vision, like your team, who's going to be working on the project, their backgrounds, add pricing, like the pricing strategy, and make sure to list everything. Because again, like from our mistakes, like sometimes there was a 20K project that didn't get approved just because we didn't list everything out. Try to be as specific as possible. This feature costs this amount, this feature costs this amount, 100 Instagram posts cost this amount, maybe design for them costs this amount, and whatever. Just try to deliver as granular as possible overview of your pricing in order to make sure the clients understand that, and that I can remove and add things, and that it doesn't feel like that you just gonna said, okay, it's just gonna be 20K, but that there is a system in which you've actually built your pricing so that you can kind of continue further. And like for this, I strongly suggest reading Alex Hormozzi's book, $100 Million Offers, which is gonna give you great insights on how to create a grand slam offer, which is gonna be basically unbeatable by any other freelancer or business or anything similar. Because just if you're the one actually spending the time into creating a great offer for your clients, you're gonna have 10x more chances on winning work versus all of the other vendors who are just saying, okay, we're really good, you want to work with us, and that's it. Additionally, like we also spoke about, and like you're gonna see something here, I guess, like let me move here, and like here we also spoke about our sales process. So you can see the video about the sales process at our studio, Flow Ninja, and kind of how we do sales. Because maybe watching pricing and then watching sales and combining those two is gonna give you a little bit more insight on how to actually create a good pricing strategy, how to create a grand slam offer, and how to actually work for a lot more than 60 cents per hour, which was my first job. And maybe with time, you're going to get to that house, you're going to get to that travel and whatever, but it's going to take time. It's not an overnight success. For us, like from 2015 to 2019, we haven't made a lot of money. That was 4 years of working, of actually just getting a good salary, like 2K per month or whatever, like which is like good salary in Serbia, but like not generally. And then only after like realizing all of these things, we were able to start implementing them, kind of fire bad clients, hire better clients, invest more in marketing, invest more in different things, and actually start growing our business kind of to the levels it is at the moment, and kind of we're gonna be growing it even more. But just realize it's a process, it's a game, and when you love playing the game, it's gonna be that much better for you.